Ready, set, adventure! Come along with us at Hikanuki World Tour as we invite you on our cruise on the NCL Viva. We'd like to inform you about our top 5 likes and dislikes and inspire you to see if the Viva could be for you. My husband and I sailed on Norwegian's newest ship, the Viva, in January of 2024, and we'd like to share with you the top 5 things that we like the best and the top 5 things where we think Viva missed the boat. Upon arriving at the port in San Juan, we were impressed with the look of the Viva. It was painted in many shades of purple and lavender, which was much more subtle than their typical brightly painted ships such as the Getaway. And that leads me to the number one thing that I liked the most about the NCL Viva, and that was the Viva herself. Inside and out, the ship feels new, modern, and sophisticated. The use of muted colors and lighter woods sets Viva apart from some of NCL's older ships, and I found this to be a welcome change. We had a balcony stateroom, and that leads me to my second favorite part of the NCL Viva, the stateroom. We were in cabin 12720 and found the cabin spacious, modern, and comfortable. The room had the typical desk area with small chair, hair dryer, large mirror, and refrigerator. Next to that were 3 separate closet spaces with plenty of hanging space, shelves, baskets, and a safe. The bathroom was large with plenty of storage space and had a shower with glass door. With its high-back chairs and comfortable cushions, this balcony was a wonderful place to sit and watch the ocean go by. Of course, everything wasn't all good, and one of the low points for me was that the main pool was comically small. With a passenger capacity of up to 3,500 people, this pool was woefully small and felt like it was crammed into the area without a lot of space and a lot of lounge chair areas. The kids' pool and splash pad area was probably about the same size as the main pool, even though this ship is really not geared for children. Plus, the kids' pool was on the top deck exposed to the sun for most of the day, whereas the main pool was between 2 buildings and was often in the shadow of the go-kart track. Located on both sides of Deck 8 was the Infinity Beach area, which featured 2 infinity pools, which conceptually were great, and they were great as long as you got there early, but wait too long and they were crowded and full of people. And flanking the infinity pools was a rather bizarre area of daybeds and ankle-deep water. And I'm sorry, NCL, but you really missed the boat here. This area would have been perfect for hot tubs or an expansion of the infinity pools. One bright spot is the colorful and comfortable seating that can be found on the pool deck and around many exterior areas of the Viva. You can always find yourself a comfortable spot to sit and relax. In addition to the pool areas being too small for the number of passengers this ship can accommodate, the Improv Comedy Club and Sid Norman's Poorhouse were intentionally designed to be small to give you an intimate club feeling. Theoretically, this was a great idea, but practically speaking, you're on a ship that can accommodate around 3,000 passengers, and obviously there is no way that everyone is going to get a seat. This causes people to have to wait in line, sometimes up to an hour, just to see a show. It's especially unfortunate that not every passenger will get to see the shows at Sid Norman's, because in my opinion, that was some of the best entertainment on the ship. In addition to the shows at Sid Norman's, I also enjoyed the nightlife and entertainment that could be found at the various bars and lounges, where there was almost always live entertainment. And whether you enjoyed easy listening, Latin music, rock and roll music, it was all here.
Thank you.
The bar we enjoyed the most was the Penrose Bar. They always seemed to have great entertainers who could get people up on their feet dancing, singing along, clapping along, and just all around having a great time. I'd like to take a moment to ask you to subscribe to Hikanuki World Tour. We invite you to come along on our travels with us. We'll offer some tips, tricks, and reviews as we tour the world and experience places new and old. We'd love for you to join us. Thanks, we really appreciate you. So what about the food on the Viva? Well, this is where you can find one of my biggest dislikes and one of my very biggest likes. So the buffet was our biggest dislike in terms of food on the NCL Viva. And guess why? It was small, crowded, and inadequate for the number of passengers on the Viva. It seems to be a common thread on the Viva. Additionally, the buffet had very limited hours. It closed early in the mornings, so we never had breakfast there. And when we would return to the ship at around 3 o'clock, it was closed. So this was very frustrating. Thankfully, we discovered Indulge Food Hall. And boy, did we indulge. This was our absolute favorite place to grab a snack, grab breakfast, grab lunch, just about anything. To me, Indulge represents an innovative new take on the traditional buffet, with foods from across the globe. At Indulge, you'll find a table. We never had a problem finding a place to sit. And on the table will be a tablet with all the menus from all the different restaurants that are found within Indulge. Once your order is placed, you will have it delivered by one of the friendly crew members who always had a smile on their face. The food was always fresh, hot, and delicious. And there's so many different places to choose from. There really should be something for everyone. And our absolute, hands-down favorite was the Indian food from Tamara. The food was spicy, authentic, and just all around delicious. Many menu selections change daily, so you shouldn't get tired of eating at Indulge. And now, unfortunately, back to the dislikes. And this is kind of a pet peeve for me, and this is upcharges. And while some of these are to be expected and are typical on any cruise ship or cruise line, I found the Viva prices to be a little on the exorbitant side. And while the Viva is not especially geared toward families and families with children, if you are traveling as a family, I think these prices would really add up. There are some complimentary activities, such as the 2-drop slides and the stadium, which features foosball, ping pong, and tabletop shuffleboard. So there are a few things you and the kids can do without incurring any additional costs. While the Viva offers 15 bars and lounges, we found the selection in some of these bars to be very limited and a little disappointing. The Soleil Bar, our favorite place to watch the sail away, didn't even have a blender, so all the people who wanted frozen daiquiris, frozen margaritas were turned away. We didn't find any bars that offered kind of the fancy mixology type drinks that you find on other cruise lines. The beer selection was also very limited. With all the local beers available on the islands that we visited, you would think the cruise ship could have picked up a few of those. Even Red Stripe, a cruise ship mainstay, was absent on the Viva. And last, but certainly not least, my final like was the hardworking, friendly, helpful crew members of the NCL Viva. The crew worked tirelessly and sacrificed time away from their family to make a nice vacation for you and your family. One of the ways you can recognize your crew is when you get home and do your post-cruise survey. Call people out by name and tell what a great job they did. This can help them get a new contract or even get a promotion, so don't forget. So to recap, our top 5 likes were the ship itself, our balcony stateroom, which was spacious, quiet, and comfortable. We found there to be plenty of nightlife and especially enjoyed the live entertainment in bars and lounges. We loved Indulge Food Hall, which offered an innovative alternative to the buffet. And finally, the crew. We thought the crew was exceptional. Unfortunately, we did identify 5 areas where we thought the NCL Viva fell a little bit short. First, and probably most notably, was that the pools and hot tubs were small, crowded, and inadequate for the size of the ship. Some of the venues, especially the Comedy Club and Sid Norman's Poorhouse, were much too small, especially considering their popularity. We found the buffet to be small, crowded, and had very limited hours. And also that many of the activities came with an additional price tag. And finally, while there are many bars and lounges to choose from, we did find that some of them had limited offerings. So those were our experiences on the NCL Viva. What about you? Share a comment below with your experiences. We'd love to hear what other people's opinions are. Do I recommend the Viva? Sure, because no ship is perfect. And I think the pros outweighed the cons for the activities and the itinerary and the things that we wanted to do. But would I return to the Viva for my next cruise? Probably not. There are new ships coming online all the time, and I would like to see what some of them have to offer before returning to the Viva. In fact, this April, my husband and I are booked on the Celebrity Ascent. So stay tuned and we'll give a review of that ship, what our experiences are, and how they compare back to the Viva. Thanks for joining us today at Hikanuki World Tour. I hope I've given you some insight into the NCL Viva and what you can expect. I've linked below my video of our day on the island of Barbados. So join us again at Hikanuki World Tour as we invite, inform, and inspire you to follow your travel dreams. Until next time, wishing you the happiest travel days. And our travel wisdom for today is, the best souvenirs are the memories you make.